Good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on 12 must-have league winners. Now, listen, y'all know I've been making videos all summer long up until this point, so some of these guys are going to be redundant. I apologize, but I'm never going to tell you to draft guys just to make content, just because somebody else mentioned them. So the guys that I'm mentioning today are my true league winners. Now, listen, I probably have about up to 24 league winners because there's different types of league winners. There's league winners, guys who's going to get hot at the end of the season. There's guys who's going to play great the whole season. And then you got your first round league winners. But today I'm going to talk about all different type of guys. Guys that's going to ball out all year. Some first round guys. Some guys that you can get as sleepers. Just different types of league winners. So these are my guys. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. So before we get started, guys, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of the news, some of the things that we haven't talked about. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is Jahan Dotson got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now let's look at the breakdown. Let me find the breakdown of what they saying, what everybody gave up. Let's see here. Where is it at? Okay, we waiting. We waiting. We waiting. We waiting. We waiting. Okay, guys, I apologize about that. I might have to just type it in, but I just want to give y'all the specific breakdown of what each team gave up. Since I'm gonna read out the news, I'm not just gonna talk about it. It happened. I want to actually. Okay, let me go to the search bar. There we go. Okay. So Jahan Dotson, guys. Dotson has been traded to the Eagles in exchange for the number of draft picks. Let's see. For the change for a number of draft picks. According to ESPN Adam Scheffler, the Eagles are receiving Dotson and a 5th round pick in exchange for a 3rd round pick and 2 7th round picks. The former 1st round draft pick seemed to fall behind the pecking order on Washington receiver depth chart, while the Eagles will likely look to pair Dotson in the slot alongside veterans A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The Commanders will move forward with Terry McLaurin, leading the way with a mix of vertical wideouts like Diami Brown and veterans Alameda Zacchaeus, and Jamison Crowder and rookie Luke McCaffrey will find their way into the 11th personnel. So, to me, guys, about the trade, I think Jahan Dotson got put behind the 8 ball. I liked him early. I told a lot of you to draft him last year. But right now, we have to move on from him. So, to me, I would say stash him if you have him. I wouldn't give him away for pennies. So, if you can't get at least, I would say, yes, guys, I would try to hold off on the 2nd. To give him away for a 3rd, I don't think it makes sense. I will hold on to the guy. The guy got really good draft capital. I don't think he's dead yet. And I mean that, no pun intended. But I mean, some guys, once they get traded, kind of like Jalen Reagor, he never played a down again, right? He hasn't been a starter since. I don't think that's necessarily true for Jahan. So just be careful with that. I would just stash Jahan. I would just stash Jahan just to see what would happen, right? Just to see what's going to happen. All right, let's see what else, guys. Okay, let's see what else is relevant to talk about. Bo Nix will be the starter week 1. I love Bo Nix. I love a lot of the rookie quarterbacks. I'm waiting late to get rookie quarterbacks in some of my drafts. I'm not telling you to do that, but I think you could do that and win. But you gotta draft the elite team. If you do that, you gotta make sure you get an elite team. Let's see here. Anything else that's good for us to talk about? Zay Jones from the Cardinals. So that looks like Greg Dortch is going to eat. Zay Jones will be suspended for 5 games, violating the league substance abuse policy. Oh no, personal conduct. I'm sorry, personal conduct. The veteran receiver will return to the team. Jones, who signed a 1-year deal with Arizona, suspending him for violating a personal conduct policy. So I'm trying to look to see what he did. It doesn't say right here. But it looks like Greg Dortch to me is the guy that I would want on this team. I'm taking Greg Dortch. Guys, make sure you keep commenting. I want to get to the content first, and then I'm gonna read out everybody comment. So guys, just be patient. If you want your comment read out immediately, you got a super chat. Other than that, I'm gonna try to get through this news, and then I'm gonna read out the content. I'm not gonna take a long time reading out the guys. So just be patient. I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's see. Anything else that's relevant? Yeah, we know a lot of the starters are not going to play this week in preseason. But we did see Anthony Richardson play last night. And Anthony Richardson, to me, he looked good. Even though he had a pick, he just getting the rest off. That's how you got to look at the game. You can't look at, oh, you better throw 5 touchdowns in the preseason. No, I just need you to see you getting the rest off, and I can see you commanding the offense. And that's what I saw. Rest of it, guys, just a lot of gibberish stuff that we already know. Nothing really new. The Jahan Dotson was the only thing that we really liked as far as in news. So let's start off with my first guy. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody being here. Yes, sir. I see you, Powerhouse. I see you, Gabe Barker. Yes, sir. Okay. So the first guy that is a league winner, and I've talked about this guy in other videos. Y'all might say, here go TD with the same guys. All these guys are not going to be the same guys, but a lot of these guys are. Remember, I'm not going to give y'all guys of, well, you know what? Nobody's talked about Jamar Chase, so I'm going to talk about Jamar Chase. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you guys just to make content. I used to do that back in the day, and it backfired. And some of the guys I missed on, I never believed in them. I just did it to try to get a video to go viral, to get more subscribers. I don't give a damn about subscribers anymore. I don't care nothing about how many views. I've judged myself off my ratio. That's why I always say I'm 70%, and nobody wants to. Here we go, 70%. Nobody knows you're not a professional. Okay, all right, that's fine. But I will stick to my guys each year. That's what I'll go down with that shit. But anyway, the first guy is going to be Davante Adams. Yes, Davante Adams. And the reason why I like Davante Adams, guys, what other wide receivers on that team that I'm worried about that's going to take targets from him? Jacoby Myers? No, I'm not worried about Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers will be okay. This is fantasy football. Guys have weeks. But Davante Adams is going to be the guy getting pepper with targets. Now, listen, can he get traded? Hell yeah, he can get traded, and that's even better. He get traded to a team, he gonna be better. So I think Davante Adams on this run-predominant team is going to have one-on-one. Because you might say, well, TD, what about, you said Justin Jefferson going to get double team. Do you think Aaron Jones is going to be the #1 running back? If Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back, the Vikings are going to be okay. I don't want to bet on Aaron Jones at this point in time on the Vikings offensive line and Aaron Jones being volatile with his health. Now, when he's healthy, this guy can play. Aaron Jones is good, but I think this team is going to go with Justin Jefferson all the way throughout the season. I don't think they never going to win any games running the ball. I believe that the Las Vegas Raiders can win games running the ball, which is going to help Davante Adams get one-on-one, and Gardner Minshew will be able to throw it to him on the outside. That's why I'm choosing Davante Adams over Justin Jefferson. Not telling you to draft Davante Adams in the top 5 or the top 12 picks, but at his ADP, which is a 3rd-round pick or 4th-round pick, depending on your league format, I'm okay with going down with Davante Adams because he could be my 3rd wide receiver, and I think that's phenomenal value. As a 1st wide receiver, no, I wouldn't take him with that type of offense that he's on. But I believe Zamir White is going to run the ball well. This team is going to move the chains, and they're going to take shots with Davante Adams. And I'm willing to take Davante Adams for that type of setup. All right, moving on to my number 2 guy. My number 2 guy that is a league winner is going to be Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton. Yes, guys, Courtland Sutton. And the reason why I like Courtland Sutton is because who is the #1 on this team? It's not, at this point in time, it's not, who's the guy? I can't think of the guy. Tim Patrick. It's not Tim Patrick. It's not Greg Dotridge. It's not Torrey Franklin at this point in time. It's Courtland Sutton. So I'm going to pick Courtland Sutton as what? His ADP is what? 9th round? Yes, 9th round. So right now we got a super chat. Appreciate it. Powerhouse in the building. Powerhouse says, I have a half-point PPR Superflex draft coming up. What strategy would you use? So, bro, this is what I tell everybody. I appreciate you being here, Powerhouse. Bro, forget about all that quarterback, running back, wide receiver, wide receiver. That shit don't matter, bro. What you need to be doing is taking the best available player and let the strategy fall to you. You should not have a strategy. You should be drafting according to what's on the board. So guess what, bro? If you got the 1-7, say you got the 1-7, and all of the wide receivers are gone. But guess what? You might be going robust RB. But say all the running backs are been drafted early and you only got wide receivers to choose from. Guess what? You might be going 0 RB. Let the draft fall to you, bro. Don't go in saying, should I take running back first or should I take the wide receiver first? I don't teach that way. I teach let the draft fall to you. So if Breach Hall is my best pick that's left on the draft, I'm going to draft him. If Justin Jefferson is the best pick left on the board, I'm going to draft him. I'm not going to go in and just be vacuumed in on one particular player because it can mess you up. So to me, man, take the best available player. And if you need help, bro, I give out consultations. If you need a consultation, just hit me up. If you're a Phenom member, you can get that consultation. The first one, half off. That's $25. But all you got to do is become a Phenom member. If you're not a Phenom member, then it's going to be $50 for 30 minutes. And I can go be with you in the draft, man, and help you out in the first 30 minutes. If you need me for the whole draft, bro, I got you. You just $75. Now, if you're a Phenom member, bro, I'm going to give you that for $50. And I'll be with you the whole draft, right? And I can help you in, whatever the picks you want. So that's what I would say. Don't be stuck on quarterback, wide receiver, or tight end, or whatever. Just go draft the best player on your team, guys that you like. All right, moving on back to Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton, guys, is going. He's the number 1 wide receiver on the team. Tim Patrick is not the guy. Jerry Jeudy is gone. So I'm drafting Courtland Sutton as a league winner, as my wide receiver 3 or even flex play. But he's the number 1 on this team, and I like the way Bo Nix looks. I think Bo Nix could be top 5 in passing yards for the whole season. So that's why I'm willing to take Courtland Sutton at his ADP, which is like round 9, round 8. It's tremendous value. So I like Courtland Sutton. Let's move on to number 3, a quarterback that I like. A quarterback that I like is Kyler Murray. Yes, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, guys, to me, with his rushing upside and the weapons that he have right now, with the guy coming from Cleveland, which I love Cleveland's system. This is a very efficient offense. So proteges off of that offense, I'm okay with drafting those players off those teams. So that's why I like Trey McBride, because they come from Cleveland. Cleveland hyper targets their tight ends. From Austin Hooper to David Njoku to Hunter Bryant. These guys get a lot of targets. So that's Trey McBride. But also it's going to keep Kyler ahead of the chains, where he don't go out and run and throw it deep every time to D-Hop. That's why they hired this new coach, so they can have a better scheme, a better schematic situation than they had in the past, where it was just Kyler, look for D-Hop or take off running. Kyler, look for D-Hop or take off running or hit Greg Dortch on a slot throw. Now it's going to be like reading the field off of play action, get the defense going to the left, drag the tight end behind the linebackers because they sitting there looking at James Conner. So I think Kyler Murray is going to have a good season passing and rushing. And he might not be rushing like he was before he had the knee injury, which was like 12 rushing touchdowns, but maybe if he can give you 7, 5, that's okay, and give you the throwing ability, which he has a great arm, and he's going to be getting outside the pocket and picking up first downs with his legs. So I love Kyler Murray. Moving on to my number 4 guy. My number 4 guy is going to be Deontay Johnson. Now, I've been talking about Deontay Johnson all year. I love Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a phone booth player, so he's going to be hyper targeting a PPR league. According to PFF, here's the stat guy. According to Deontay, this is the Geek Club. Y'all ready for the Geek Club? And I'm geeky enough to be in the Geek Club. So, according to PFF, Deontay Johnson is one of the best separators in man-to-man coverage in the last 5 years. So, that's why they brought Deontay to Carolina, to help Bryce Young get the ball out quick. So, I love Deontay Johnson. Moving on, guys. Let's get the likes up. We got 25 people in here. We only got 6 likes. Again, guys, I'm going to get to the comments section, so just be patient. But let's get the likes up, guys. We got 6 likes in here. 6 thumbs up. Listen, you ain't got to hit the like button. You can hit the thumbs down button, but you got to hit a button. Our button needs to be pushed. My number 5 guy is going to be Caleb Williams. Now listen, I'm just now getting him on my league winner list, but this guy's going to be good, and he's going to be good in the 4th quadrant. I mean, he's going to be elite. So if you want to wait late to stack your team, stack your team and then get a quarterback late, I think that's a phenomenal type of draft strategy this year, because there's a lot of good quarterbacks that are going late. I think it's going to be like 3-point difference between quarterback 5 all the way up to quarterback 14. It's going to be like 3 points. 4 or 5 points here and there. It ain't gonna be no, oh, this guy was scoring 30 and this guy was scoring 15. No, it's gonna be like 25, 21. So that's what I say. So let's move on. Let's go to number 6. My number 6 guy is going to be Malik Neighbors. Yes, guys, Malik Neighbors. And the reason why Malik Neighbors is a league winner for me is because, guys, he's going in the 3rd round. He's not going in the 1st round like Marvin Harrison, but he is that type of player, these elite breakout rookie wide receivers that we see every year. I'm talking about for the last, 12 years, we've seen a rookie breakout. Now, they might not be number 1, but they'd be like top 5, right? Where Malik is that, but he's going in the 3rd round. That's tremendous value. That's a league winner. Marvin Harrison is not a league winner because he's a 1st round guy. The only way Marvin Harrison is going to be a league winner, he got to average 22 points a game. But if Malik can give you 15 points a game in the 3rd round and get better out as the season goes on into the 4th quadrant, is a league winner. So that's why I got Malik over Marvin. And I've been on Malik over Marvin, even though I believe that Marvin's going to be really good. All right, let's move on to my number 7 guy. My number 7 guy is going to be Jaden Daniels. Yes, Jaden Daniels, guys. Now, listen, he just lost a weapon, but that's fine. His running ability, his deep ball with Terry McLaurin, and guess what? I think Brandon Ayuk can go there. Because why would you trade Jahan if you don't want to bring in another wide receiver? You want the most weapons for your rookie quarterback, even if it's not great. You want somebody there. They don't think that Miami is going to be super special, but he can play. So I think Brandon Ayuk can always go there. They can always trade for a guy in the middle of the season. But either way, Jaden Daniels is going to have rushing upside. So I love Jaden Daniels. That's another quarterback strategy where you can wait late, get your quarterback, and stack your teams. That's a strategy. That's one of the strategies that I'm trying to do this year. I do want some upper echelon quarterbacks like Lamar, like Josh Allen, but I also want some teams where I'm waiting late and getting my quarterback like Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams. Okay, let's moving on, guys. We almost through this list, and I'm going to get to everybody comment. Appreciate everybody being here. Cutting edge content here. Make sure you watch the whole live. Number 8 is going to be Rico Dowdle. Yes, guys, Rico Dowdle. Guys, I'm like, why y'all haven't traded for a running back? You think Zeke going to take you to the promised land? No, I think they like Rico. Rico's still healthy. I think Zeke going to be there early to make sure that he's blocking for that, showing Rico the way, how to work, how to be a great work ethic. That's why they paying Zeke. They probably told Zeke on the phone, so listen, Zeke, we want you to come here. Now, listen, you're not going to be the full starter, but we want you to show Rico how to work and teach him how, we know your work ethic. So I think that's what Rico Dowdle's there, and I think Rico going to take over this team. So I love Rico Dowdle because there's nobody else there. Deuce Vaughn is good. He's a good little short guy, pause, right? No pun intended, but he can't take a workload, pause, like Rico Dowdle can. So I'm going with Rico Dowdle. Let's move on to number 9. This is where y'all might disagree, but I like Ramondre Stevenson. Why? Because nobody wants to touch the New England Patriots, and somebody got to score. Somebody got to score on the New England Patriots. So I like Polk, I like Javon Baker, I like Hunter Henry, and I like Ramondre Stevenson. And Ramondre Stevenson is going to be the goal line running back there. So I'm drafting him at his ADP, which is like 4th or 5th round. Now, if you go 0 RB and you get him as your first running back, that's tremendous. If you get him and you go on robust RB and you trying to take a player that's going to be top 5, this guy's not for you. But this guy's a guy for you to feel good that you got a starter. He's getting the goal line touches, and that's all you want out of it, right? You're not looking for a guy to be the number 1 running back. Everybody's not going to be number 1. So some guys you got to draft this to be solid, and whatever happens, you would take it. That's what Ramondre Stevenson is for me. He's a starter on a team that nobody's won, and I can get him. I'm okay with that. Okay. Number 10 is going to be Chase Brown. Yes, Chase Brown. I love Chase Brown. Why? Because I think he's very explosive over Zach Moss. Yes, Zach Moss could get goal line carries, and Zach Moss could have a breakout year like he did last year. I could be wrong. But Chase Brown, to me, I've been on him since college. I think he's very explosive, and this is my main thing for Chase. Chase at Illinois took a bell cow workload. He had carries like he was Derrick Henry in the Big Ten. Big Ten is not chopped liver defense. That's Ohio State. That's Michigan. Those guys can play defense, and Chase Brown had good games against those teams, and he took on 25 touches a game, 300 some touches in college. That's a lot of college touches, and he caught passes. So to say he can't take the workload in the NFL is to be disingenuous. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, so that could be disingenuous, right? Powerhouse with another super chat. Appreciate you, bro. He says Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels predictions. I'm going with Caleb Williams, bro. The way he looking in that pocket, he gonna have rushing upside and he got throwing upside. I'm going with Caleb Williams. I might have said Jaden Daniels last week, but right now I'm going with Caleb Williams. So I could be a prisoner of the moment. It is what it is, but I'm giving you my best take. But bro, I think it's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams going to be throwing for 200 yards a game, and he's going to be having rushing upside. So I'll go with Caleb Powerhouse. Great tomato. That's a great tomato question. Okay, so we got a couple more guys. Like I said, let me finish Chase Brown. But Chase Brown, guys, can take a workload, right? So if Zach Moss go down or he start booming because he's out playing Zach Moss, I think Chase could take over this backfield and let Zach Moss come in and block and do whatever he needs because Zach has been around, right? Chase Brown actually is good in pass protection too. So I love Chase Brown. I got two more guys. My number 11 guy is a new guy that I've been on in the last 2 weeks, and it's Travis Etienne. You might Travis Etienne. Guys, we've been disrespecting Travis Etienne the last 2 years. Travis Etienne this year, that's why I do like Trevor Lawrence. That's another guy. He's not on the list, but I like Trevor Lawrence to have a bounce back season. But I think Travis Etienne is going to catch 70 to 80 passes this year, and he's going to get goal line touches. So I'm not fading a guy like that. I'm taking him in the 3rd round. I love Travis Etienne as a hero RB bill or whatever. I think Travis Etienne could be the number 1 running back next year. Not the overall season. If he is, that's fantastic. But if he can give me top 5 numbers the whole year and boom early in the quadrant and fall off a little bit at the end, I'm okay with that. I think they're going to use him where he's going to catch a lot of passes to keep his health good, and I'm okay with that. That's why I also like Tanks Bigsby, because I think Tanks Bigsby is going to get some carries to keep Travis Etienne healthy. So I love Travis Etienne this year. I think that's boom potential. Moving on to my number 12 guy, which is my last guy, is going to be Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. I love Zay Flowers. The reason why I love Zay Flowers, I think he's going to be a top 5 potential wide receiver because this offense is going to pass more than they ever have in Baltimore history. Lamar is going to break Baltimore record with passing yards and touchdowns. He's going to do that this year. With Isaiah Likely and Zay Flowers, those guys are going to bust out this year and be league winners to me. I don't got Likely here, but I do like Likely. And I do like Zay. I think Zay is the best player wide receiver on this team. I do think he takes over Mark Andrews' role and be the number 1 target getter. Mark Andrews still is going to be good, but he's not going to be Zay. Zay is phenomenal. Nobody can stay in front of him. He's having an excellent camp. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. Okay. All right. Let's get through some of these comments here. Appreciate everybody being in here, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, I see TZ in the building. Harambe, what's up? He said TD Fire. Yes, sir. Big Will in the building. Yes, sir. Nifty. Uh-oh. Harambe says he's going to rot on the roster. He is a stash, right? That's what Jahan Dotson is. We was reading the news out. Powerhouse says Stafford have a chance to be top 10. Yes, I think Stafford could be top 10 most definitely, especially if Puka get healthy. If Puka's healthy, this team is going to be elite. This team has a chance to win the NFC. I would say the NFC playoff game for the go to the Super Bowl could be Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. Gabe Barker says a chance, but I wouldn't say it's likely at Powerhouse. Powerhouse says, hey, Gabe, who do you think is the best quarterback most likely to finish top 10? Okay, they're going back and forth. Anthony Ruffin says, yes, I said, guys, we back to fantasy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Anthony. Zach says Aaron Jones is on my do not draft list, and I understand that. I like Zach. I think Aaron Jones is a talented running back, but I can't draft him with Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota surprise everybody, right? I'm not saying that Justin Jefferson is not going to be a top 5 wide receiver, but I don't think he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver. If he's the number 1 wide receiver, I'd come back and tell y'all that, listen, I was wrong. Right, Garvey. I would stash Ty Chandler. Yes, and Robbie says, let the draft fall to you. Facts. Oh, it's an auction league, so that's better. I like that. Auction leagues are better. Go get your guys. Emma, what's up, Emma? He says, I agree. Sutton to the moon. I agree. Facts. Sutton is going to the moon. Gabe says, wide receiver class is so deep. If you can't get elite wide receiver, then get your other positions and wait on that position. Facts. Facts. It's 9 ways to skin a cat. Zach says, how do you know that Bo Nix would be that good this year? Because I've been watching them. I don't listen. My channel I don't go off what people say and what they think, and then I come and tell y'all. I go off what I take my scouting ability and I tell y'all what I think, and I go down with that. I could be wrong. I could be right. Right? Usually, I've been 70%. And Bo Nix is not on one of my lists, my 70% list. I got a video called I'm going to be 70% hit rate of all these guys. And I listed all my guys. And these are not just first round picks. It's a couple first round picks in there, but a lot of these guys are like middle round guys. Me watching Bo Nix, man, he looks good. He looks poised. And I think that they're going to be trailing a lot. And I think he's going to be having a lot of yards because of garbage time. Guave says Marv is going to eat. I hope so. I know Malik gonna eat, but I hope Marvin eats too. Yes, hit the like button. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Garvey says great ADP. Hopefully we get the 90 catches. Right. Talking about Malik Neighbors. Double tap the screen to hit the like button. Gabe says I like DJ. I've been able to get him around round 6 and 8 in my mock draft. Deontay Johnson. Yes, Deontay Johnson. Zach says Marvin Harrison Jr. could be a league winner. I could see him being top wide receiver in 3 or 4 quadrants. Bruh, if he ain't top in the first quadrant and taking him in the beginning of the second round, going to kill your team. Now listen, if you got a team that you can wait on him to get hot, pause, for the 34th quadrant, then yeah, that's a great pick. But if you don't got that team, you won't be able to enjoy the 34th quadrants because you will already been traded them or waiting for next year. That's the thing. That's the little conundrum right there. Dave Canales does help with Deontay Johnson, right? He does help. Cooper Kupp going to rebound. I think so. I still rather have Puka Nacua if he's healthy. I still rather have Puka Nacua, but I don't mind having that stack Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. Guava says we have similar reads. Yes, sir. Nifty says I'm reaching for Kupp and going down with the ship. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you say going down with the ship, I get your tape. As long as you're going down with the ship, I'm okay with that. That's what it's about here. I would never tell y'all who you better pick. And if you don't pick that player, you're going to lose. No, you can pick any player and still win a championship. Kupp could be the number 1 wide receiver. To me, I'm not betting on him to be that this year, but you willing to go down with the ship, I respect that. Guave says Kupp in round 2, 12 man seems high. It does in round 2. I'd rather get him in like round 3, late round 3. Gabe says I'm not drafting Kupp at that value this year, but he could end up being a steal. I'm not feeling the risk. Me too. I feel the same way, Gabe. Garvey says I pass. Giants are a horror show. I'm not passing on Neighbors. I'm taking Neighbors, but I respect what you're saying. He's him, but fantasy. Powerhouse says Neighbors going to get 90 receptions and 1,200 yards with 9 TDs. I love them stats. That sound very doable. 9 passing touchdowns from DJ Hahn. That's what somebody making a joke about Daniel Jones. If Malik Neighbors get 9 touchdowns, that means that DJ only had 9 passing touchdowns. I like that. Love JD. I guess it's JD Daniels. Taking him in all my mocks to get my elite running backs and wide receivers. Facts. That's a good strategy. Guarbe says he's an elite talent, but the G man scare me. He said, but the G man scare him. Gabe says you can get Rico late, right? You can get Rico really late, and I love Rico. Um, Fletcher God says, "What you talking about, Taysom Hill?" Oh, he said, "What you think?" I'm sorry. What you think about Taysom Hill? I think Taysom Hill is a guy to stash and is a great goal line running back for the Saints. I think he's going to have 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns. That's what they always do with Taysom Hill. So he's a great stash, and you can get him probably at the end of your drafts. You don't even really have to draft him, I don't think. Guave says they won't move the ball. Okay. Emma says fade New England players if you want to win. I disagree. Somebody's going to be good for you to have as a flex play or a wide receiver 3. Or a wide receiver 3. Gabe says Chase Brown is sneaky. He is very sneaky. Chase Brown is very sneaky. I'm drafting him over Zach Moss. South, what's up, South 77? He says, if CMC failed to you with the 4th, would you take him over Brees or Bijan? Yes, I would, if he's healthy. Now listen, you got to make your own decision about that calf strain. If you're not worried about the calf strain, hell yeah, you take CMC over. But if you worry about that calf strain, you cannot take him with that on your mind. To me, you have to say, "Oh, I ain't worried about that. I know he's healthy." They just using it as a caution. That's fine. Hell yeah, I'm taking CMC over Breach and Bijan if I believe he's healthy. Me, I'm a little worried, not because I know anything. I just think with the work, the mileage on him that he's been getting the last 4 or 5 years, I don't want to take him. But if you fall to the 7th, I might risk it anyway, right? As long as they're not saying he had a setback. Because the 7th, would you see him if you fail to you to with the 4th? Okay, 4th. Now I wouldn't take him there. I would still take Amara over him. If Amara's still on the board, yes. But if Amara is gone, I'm probably taking CMC. Zach says Rasheed Rice is my league winner, so you can still draft him late, right? My other league winner is Scary Terry. He's going to get hyper targeted by Jaden Daniels. I agree. Drafting those 2 wide receivers in drafts now. Right. I like those 2 guys too, bro. I do. I like Rasheed Rice. I haven't got to him drafting him, but I don't know. I still got about 5 or 6 more drafts to do, so I might take Rasheed Rice. He's definitely a good pickup because he's not going to get suspended this year. Facts. Jordan says, "Go Bills." Yes, sir. I think Josh Allen has a chance to win MVP, not off a passing year, but off a great efficient year. He's gonna have a better efficient year than he had ever in his career. That's why they brought in Brady as an offensive coordinator, not Tom Brady, but Joe Brady. Emma says talk about Jerome Ford. I do like Jerome Ford. He didn't make my list, but I do believe that he is a running back that is getting tremendous value right now because I don't think that Nick Chubb is going to be ready for the season. So I think Jerome Ford is going to be that go-to guy. But Deontay Foreman will get carries too. Just want y'all to know that Deontay Foreman could get the goal line touches, and Jerome Ford could be getting the pass catching target. So just be ready for that. Let's see. I lost my spot a little bit. Okay. Somebody says Bigsby. I'm telling you, I like him as a stash, as a handcuff to ETN. Yeah, I like ETN, Kyron, Pacheco a lot more now too. I'm not high on Pacheco, but you know how I feel about Pacheco. But that's fine. I like the guys that you mentioned. People underrating the Ravens. They are. Talking about the offensive line, I still love Zay. Durf Boy, what's up? He said, with Dotson getting traded to Philly, what do you think of Luke McCaffrey? I think Luke McCaffrey gonna be okay, but I actually think Austin Eckler is gonna get a little bit more targets, and I also would stash Diami Brown a little bit too. But I would take a chance on Luke McCaffrey at the end of my drafts. At the end of my drafts, I'm not gonna sit here and say, Luke about to get about 80 targets. I'm not gonna do that. I would just say I would still just take Austin Eckler and maybe stash Luke. Yeah, so hopefully, Emma, you hear me talk about Jerome Ford. I definitely like Jerome Ford. I definitely like Jerome Ford. But like I said, he might not get the goal line touches. It might be Deontay Foreman, or he might split it, just depending on what's going on with the game. Dollar Bill says, I'm cutting grass while listening, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Um, Garvey says, let others spin early. Nominate players you don't want. Right. That's what I do in auction drafts, too. And then I wait late to get my players. Right. Best quarterbacks to take late. Guave says Purdy, Golf, Lawrence, Tua, Herbert. I can't really go against that. I actually would throw the rookies in there. I would throw in Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams at this point in time. Guave said Vegas has 49ers, Lions scoring a lot of points. Yes, 49ers will score some points with Ayuk and all them guys if they stay. Lions will be good too. They are a top team. So yes, I like that. Guave says top 7 PPR, hopefully. TZ says I don't like Higgins, but looks like Chase holding out and not bugging could be a big value. I'm not taking Chase with him holding out. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm not taking Chase while he's holding out. I'm not doing it. Not saying he's gonna be a bad play, but maybe I trade for him. If I think he's gonna be healthy. But I mean, when guys don't participate in preseason, usually they get hamstring injuries, especially at the wide receiver position. Harami says, TD, if MHJ and Neighbors ADP is the same, who are you taking? I'm taking Neighbors. I'm taking Neighbors. Guave says, owned him last year. Calf was an issue, but he always played. Facts. Facts. Want me to chip? First time CMC drafted. Okay. Joe Garcia, what's up, bruh? He says, do you have a cheat sheet and how much like your content? Yes, I do. I have a draft guide that I'm gonna be updating weekly through the season. And right now that I have my rankings that I move my rankings around. So that's what I have right now. And I also have a draft sheet that I got for zero RB targets and stuff like that. Very simple, nothing like where it's extravagant, but I got my rankings and I'm telling you how to target these guys. So yeah, bro, just hit me up at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com and I can give you that. And if you are a Phenom member, you can get that for free. But if you are not a Phenom member, then it's $24.99. Appreciate you being here, Joe Garcia. Tim J says A-Chain or Pacheco. A-Chain all day over Pacheco. A-Chain all day over Pacheco. Guave says Pacheco, no question. I disagree with that, but I respect what he's saying. JC says Jalen Hurts value up, right, because he's going to be passing the ball. He's not going to run the ball that much this year. That's going to be Saquon. He's going to be passing the ball. He also going to pass the ball to Saquon. A lot of people don't think so. TZ says A-Chain. Gabe says A-Chain. They all like A-Chain over Pacheco. Let's see. Yeah, Gabe says ain't been no Chiefs running back with a big season since JC. Right. Guave says he'd be more involved. A-Chain is undersized, but the boom is enticing. Right. I don't care about the size. Pause. I care about the boom. Pause. Guave says I could be wrong on Pacheco versus A-Chain. Drafted both. Right. Big Will in the house. Big Will says, what do you think about the Bears receivers? I think all 3 can ball. Pause. I think it's going to be, to me, if I had to draft one guy, I would draft DJ Moore. But to me, I'd rather draft Caleb Williams and get all the points. It just depends on the ADP, man. But the guy that I'm taking would be DJ Moore because you're getting good value on DJ Moore. You're getting him in the 3rd or 4th round, and he's also the wide receiver 1. I can see Rome balling. I can see Allen balling. To me, I just rather have DJ Moore. But it's going to be a different guys going to ball out each week. So I'm kind of fading that wide receiver core. But if I had to take one, I'm taking DJ Moore. But if I could get Rome Duze and I can get him late, I take that value. As long as he could be my flex play wide receiver, but I'm not taking him as my wide receiver 2. Probably not even my wide receiver 3. Keenan Allen, I'm probably fading unless he fall real late to me. Powerhouse says Kyler Murray has a decent chance to be a number one quarterback in fantasy, and he does. Gabe says I'm taking Neighbors, but I like Zay about the same. Zay Flowers, right? Zach says Kareem Hunt had a big season on the Chiefs, right? But that's a long time ago. And I don't know if they're gonna deploy anybody like that. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco are two different players. Kareem Hunt was like a second, third round pick. Pacheco was undrafted. Not saying Pacheco is bad. I just don't think Pacheco is gonna get that type of work. I don't think they're gonna give Pacheco a chance to score a touchdown every time they get down there. Kareem Hunt, they was trying to give him a chance to score every time they got down there. I don't know if Pacheco is gonna get that opportunity. Um, Thoughts on Jordan Love top five? I think Jordan Love has a chance to be top five. He could be number one. Man, it's a lot of good quarterbacks, man. It's a lot. I like Jerry Goff. I like a lot of quarterbacks this year, man. I love Jordan Love. I had Jordan Love won me a couple championships last year. I love Jordan Love. Do you rate teams? Yes, I do, but you have to be a member of the channel. If you're not a member of the channel, I'm not going to rank the team. So you have to become a member. The link is at the top. I pinned it. You can become a member, and I'll rank your team. Rate or rank it. User 279. He says, I love Jared Goff as a sleeper. He has no rushing upside, but he'll finish quarterback 7 like last year. I agree. He's a safe quarterback, man. He's very safe. I don't need everybody to be the quarterback one that I'm drafting. I don't need that. I just need you to be good and solid. And then you will have your boom games and help me win certain weeks. Guave says he's passing on Love. You can get the same value later. You Other than Love could be the number one quarterback, it's a couple guys could be number one. Love could be number one. So he's just not a guy that you fade off and go to Matthew Stafford just because you can do it. Other guys, yeah, like Purdy, yes, I fade Purdy and go get somebody, but I don't know about Love. Love has number one quarterback ceiling. Andre, what's up, Andre? Glad to see you here, bro. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Andre says, who would you rather take at the 1-6, St. Brown or Breach? St. Brown all day. I'm going with St. Brown all day, bro. User 279 says, I think King Henry will lead the league in rushing touchdowns. Everybody is on that now. He will probably have 10 to 15 rushing touchdowns, and that's the floor. The ceiling is 18 to 20. That's the ceiling. Especially with playing beside Lamar. User 279 says Zeke could get some touchdowns too. Right. He could. But I think Rico's going to take over the backfield because I don't know if Zeke can stay healthy the whole season. I don't know if he's going to be the same player the whole season. Tim says, who you started in the PPR league, Dale or Flowers? Flowers. But I love Dale too, but I'm going to start Flowers over Dale. Harami says Jordan Love would be an MVP candidate. Right. That's why I said you got to be careful just moving on from Love and try to get a late quarterback. He's one of the guys that could be number one. To me, it's no difference between C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. I think they are both got a lot of upside. Garvin says, how about 1-4? Chase, Breach, Bijan, Amara, JJ. I'm going with Amara over Bijan and JJ. And Breach and Chase. I'm going with Amara. User says, with Kellen Moore being the Eagles OC now, Devontae Smith will be a really solid grab in the middle rounds. Facts, bro. I agree with you 100%. That's why I'm fading A.J. Brown. I think Devontae Smith is going to get an uptick in targets and also in production. TZ says, if you played in a big money league, would you take a top 3 or 4 quarterback or wait for later quarterbacks? That's a great question. It depends on where I'm drafting at. If I'm drafting number one overall, yes, I'm getting me a top quarterback. But if I'm drafting in the middle of the rounds, and I'm just giving you context of me doing mocks, I'm gonna probably rate late for a guy like Jordan Love. But if I'm number one, I'm gonna pick my number one player. Say I take CMC, and then when it gets back around to me, I might take A Chain, and then Lamar Jackson or whoever I believe is the number one quarterback. So that's what I would do. It just depends on really where you drafting at. Let the draft come to you. Don't reach for a quarterback just because you in a big money league. Uh Garvin says I'm leaning towards breach and redraft big money league. Durfboy says I've heard Kenneth Walker will be getting more involved in the passing game. Who would you draft out of him and A Chain? I'm drafting A Chain, but that is good news for Kenneth Walker. But I'm drafting A Chain. He's on a better offense. Powerhouse has got to fly, TD. Thanks for the info. Anytime, bro. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Cutting edge content. Harami says, imagine having Josh Allen and Jordan Love in the Superflex. I'm not that high on Josh Allen this year in fantasy, but yes, that is an elite stat. Well, it's not stack, but two quarterbacks. Guave says Breach versus Amara is where I'm at. I'm going with Amara over Breach. Zach says because you sniped me on Jordan Love at Arambi. Tim says thoughts on MHJ. I'm not taking him in the beginning of the second round. I'd rather wait for Malik Neighbors. That's my 2 cents. He's going to be solid, but I'm not drafting him in the beginning of the second round. Guave says A-Chain goes much higher. My leagues, A-Chain been going at the end of the second round. He's not been going in the middle of the second round. So if he's going in like the middle of the second round or beginning of the second round, then I apologize. But in my leagues, he's been going at the end, like the 212, 211. TZ says, good stuff, bro. Thank you. Anytime, man. I try my best. User says, I think Kincaid will take a huge leap this year. Diggs and Gabe left 250 targets in Buffalo. Right. Keon Coleman and Kincaid will eat that up. And also, Curtis. Show some courtesy, Curtis. Guave says, Kincaid is who you want on the Bills. Great value. He is good value. I like David and Njoku better than Kincaid. As long as David is healthy. Right now, he's not been practicing. Hopefully, it's something minor. User says you could definitely wait later for David Njoku or something, though. Right. I didn't even see that comment. Facts. Facts. Zach Seaman says A-Chain versus ETN. That's a great one, bruh. That's a great one. That is a great one. I'm going to go with ETN off the hair off of my chinny chin chin. So slightly, I'm going with ETN, right, Guave? I'm going with ETN slightly. Slightly. But I think A-Chain has more upside. Tim says, who you think would be the wide receiver one for the Texans this year? I would say Nico, but I think the guy to have is going to be Tank Dell. But I think Nico is going to finish as the wide receiver one for that team. I don't know if that's going to really make the difference. I think for what Tank Dell's going to put up at his ADP is going to be a better value. Dirkboy says A-Chain is cheaper in auction draft on ESPN. He's like $22. Walker is like $33. That's good value in the auction draft. Andre says ETN over Pacheco or no? ETN over Pacheco, bruh. Yes, sir, Andre. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate Tim Tran. Appreciate y'all being here. User 279, appreciate you being. He says, I think Christian Kirk is a real sleeper. He is. This year with really gone, even though they have a stud with Brian Thomas Jr. Yes, I love Brian Thomas Jr. That was one of my big time sleepers all year. I didn't have him on this list because I've been talking about him a lot. Everybody knows that I like Brian Thomas Jr. I love Malik Neighbors. Now, Malik has passed him. I did like Brian Thomas over Malik, but Malik is grew. So I would say Malik and Brian Thomas Jr. are my two elite rookie wide receivers. Garvey says ETN and A-Chain is closer. I'm realizing than Pacheco. I agree with the chat. I just appreciate you giving out the free game, bro. Got my draft tomorrow at the 6th spot. I don't know who I want to grab. I think you need to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown if he's there, or B. John. That's what I think for right now. For not knowing your league, I think B. John or Amon-Ra is going to be there, and that's where I would go. Now you can go with Justin Jefferson or Jamar because they gonna get the targets, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and cap and act like and say they garbage. They not garbage. I'm fading them, and I'm more. I guess I could say if I wanna. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm more making an expert decision. Like, do I really think that Chase is gonna be scoring 25 points every game? I need him to do that. If he starts off slow, I'm gonna be angry. Amon-Ra, if he started off slow, I would be okay with it. But I know they want to give Amon-Ra the ball. I know they want to give Tyreek the ball. I know they want to give B. John the ball. I know these guys are healthy. Jamar, he ain't practiced, man. I just can't go down like that. If him and JJ had, not JJ, but if Jamar had been at practice all summer long, I would draft Jamar probably over Amon-Ra. But I just can't trust it right now. And I love Amon-Ra, man. I think he's safe. And I think in the first round, you just need to be safe. You don't need to lose it. Like, if Amon-Ra is a top 5 wide receiver, you're not going to lose the first round. But if you take Jamar and he starts slow and he only get like 14 points the first 2 or 3 weeks, it could cost you. It could. It may not. It could. Garvey says, okay, Zach says you can't go wrong with drafting any Texas wide receiver this year. Garvey says B. John or Amon-Ra. I'm going with Amon-Ra over B. John. I'm going with Amon-Ra over B. John. Garvey says at the 1-6 you'll get wide receivers, and it will be wide receivers there. And my league has been running backs there too. I don't like reaching up for Sam Laporta this year. I don't either. That's one of my guys that I'm trying to fade now. I did take him in a tight end premium league because it's tight end premium. He's getting a lot of premium points for first downs and catches and stuff like that. So that's different. But in a regular standard scoring league, I wouldn't draft Sam Laporta as the #1 tight end. I would actually go with Trey McBride or Travis Kelce. Would take a step back. It'd be hard for him to do it again right off that touchdown upside. Tim says, thoughts on DK and fantasy? I've been seeing him a lot, mixed opinions on him. Man, it's the boom. Listen, I don't draft DK to be something, all this and that. I draft it because I know he's going to have some boom games. That's how I compartmentalize when I draft certain guys. Certain guys, I'm not looking for them to be the #1. I just want them to get that boom upside. And DK has plenty of boom upside. He won me a league one year, and I got the #1 seed because he went crazy against the Cowboys and I beat the #1 seed team, knocked him out. I got the #1 seed, but I played and I started DK. Why? Because I know he can boom. I didn't care what the matchup was, and that's what you should do when you drafting DK. Draft him because you know he could go for 50 points any game. That's what he is for you. Don't be looking for him to be, well, he's going to lead the league in targets. No, don't be looking for that. He might not do that. But what he's going to do is he's going to have some games where he catch a screen, take it 70, and catch another screen, take it another 70. And then now you're going to win that week more times than not. That's what I like with DK. Guave says, Vikings have them. We'll have more bust games equals JJ to bust. You could be right, bro. You could be right. I'm not taking JJ for that simple fact right there. TZ says, Amon-Ra less likely to bust, safest for the first round is the best play. Facts. Laporta at 3-4 is enticing. Yeah, just depends on who's on the board. User 79 says, someone not talked about enough in the Texans is Dotson shows he can be good despite all the weapons. Yeah, man, but there's so many good tight ends. I don't think you're going to really want to have time. I'd rather have Isaiah Likely. That's just me. He says, yeah, bro, I think people are going to go double RB a lot in this league, assuming grab B. John or St. Brown. Right. So I think you can get St. Brown. Guave says Mike Evans, Olave, or Water at the 2-9. I say Water, but I would love to have Tyreek. I don't want to draft Water unless I got Tyreek. A lot of people can't understand that. I told a good dude, he was like, man, should I take Water or somebody? I said, only take Water if you get Tyreek. He was like, why should I only get him? Why would that? That doesn't make sense. And I'm going to break this down one time. I like to squeeze offenses. So to me, the way this scheme is ran, if Tyreek don't have a big game, I would bet you $100 that Water gonna have a big game if he's healthy. You're not gonna shut down, unless it's cold weather, you're not gonna shut down Tyreek and Water. It's impossible. Not the way this scheme is ran. So that's why I want both on my team. So if you want Waddle, you got to have Olave. I mean, not Olave, but Tyreek. Tyreek and Waddle goes together. So if you get Tyreek, try to get Waddle. Don't draft Waddle as your number one wide receiver and won't think he's going to be consistent enough every single week. Now, he could give you a lot of boom weeks, but you're going to have some weeks where you're like, man, 7 points? So that's what I want you to be prepared about. Mike Evans, Olave. I would go with Olave over Mike Evans if I had to choose out of those two. But I'm fading Mike Evans this year as an older wide receiver. I like Chris Godwin and some of the other wide receivers. You just said y'all better get up on Michael Pittman Jr. Yes, sir. I love Michael Pittman Jr., bro. He's one of my breakout. Go watch my videos. User set 279. I had him as my, what was my video yesterday? Let me go look for my video real quick. Let me go see if I can find my video. 5 wide receivers that I cannot stop drafting, and Michael Pittman was one of those guys. So yes, I love Michael Pittman, bro. You right. While Josh Allen is out 4 to 6 weeks, facts. TD says Breach might not perform well with Rodgers. I think he's going to throw more instead of dump off. Still going to be solid, but not crazy good with less carries. I agree. Andre says, if I grab St. Brown, who do you recommend targeting the second and the third? Okay, so let me look at my list over here. So if you get Amon-Ra and you at the 1-6, right? You at the 1-6. I would say I like Kyron Williams. I like Saquon Barkley if he fall. He might not fall to you, but I like Kyron Williams, AJ Brown, and wait a minute. This is a single quarterback one though. So this is super flex. So I'm sorry. Let me apologize. AJ Brown is not going to make it there. Let me see here real quick. There we go. All right. So you at the 1-6. If you get Amon-Ra and then you come around in the second round, I'm gonna tell you to look for Kyron Williams and A-Chain. I will go with A-Chain, then Kyron Williams. That's me. But you could go with Kyron first, and I don't think that's a bad pick. So Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, or A-Chain. And then in the third, I will look for ETN. So I would say Amon-Ra, A-Chain, ETN. That's what I would try to do. I think you can pull that off. He said, is having a receiver stack risky? No, I don't. Not on elite offense. You can't do it with every other team because every other team doesn't mean. I'm going to tell you another team you can do it with. I like stacking the Philadelphia Eagles. I think if A.J. Brown don't have a big game, Devontae Smith going to have a big game. One of those two going to have a big game, and then they're going to have a couple games where they both have big games. So, to me, I like squeezing when I know our offense is going to be top 5 every week, right? Kansas City, I'm taking Travis Kelce, and I might get one more other guy. I might get Travis Kelce and Rashid, or Travis Kelce and Worthy. I would rather get Travis Kelce and Worthy. I think that goes together. So, if you take away Travis Kelce, Worthy going to go over top. You see what I'm saying here? It's not just, oh, I got 2 guys. Well, you don't know if those 2 guys correlate with a math equation where if one guy gets shut down, the other guy's hit. That's why I like squeezing. Listen, I'm giving y'all the sauce. This should be for my members. This should be a members only video because I'm giving y'all the sauce that I only should be giving my members. But that's how I like stacks because either one guy gonna hit and the other guy is not, or both of them hit. I bet on this. I will bet 80% of the time where both guys they both don't hit. That's never going to happen, really, right? 80% of the time, one of the guys is going to boom or both boom. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. Lonely B says, thoughts on T. Higgins since you're fading Chase? I'm fading that whole offense other than Chase Brown. I'm fading that whole offense other than Chase Brown because I don't know what's going to happen. Not because I said they suck or Jamar Chase is not good or Joe Burrow's not good. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not really taking T. Higgins. I'm willing to go trade for Jamar Chase if I like if I got CMC and I say, oh, Chase looked like he's ready and I feel good with it, then I go get Chase. But I'm not drafting Chase to depend on him because if you do and he gets an injury, you got to blame yourself because he didn't play in the preseason, so it don't make sense. It's basically like say the country is in war, but you still invest in a new business startup. Why would you invest into this business when we in war? So if it don't hit, then you should blame yourself. So that's how I see. That's my 2 cents when I see the Cincinnati Bengals. Chase ain't practicing. I just feel like an injury can pop up. That's the only reason why. I want to give you that 2 cents. Let's see. Guave says I might go Amara, Waddle, or Olave in round 3 to get Collins. I respect that. Emo says you fading Mike Evans. He's the epitome of being consistent. No, not really. Not really. Not for his ADP. You know what type of guys is going at his ADP? Let me tell you real quick. Let's look at this ADP real quick. Mike Evans. Okay. Here's who's going around in his ADP. I don't think Mike Evans is going to be better than Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is going in the 4th. So is Mike Evans. Rashad Wright, which is a running back. I can understand if you want to go with Mike Evans. DJ Moore. Because you got to, each year is different. You can't go off the past when you've been in the league past 10 years. You right? At this point in time, that's just how I see it. DK Metcalf, I'd rather go with DK. Michael Pittman. Now maybe Michael Pittman doesn't make it there in other leagues, but in the 4th round, he went in a single quarterback league. He went in the 4th round of this league. You can still got Nico. I can understand, whatever. It's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. You got some quarterbacks going in that round, like Pat Mahomes. You got James Cook, and you got Malik Neighbors in the 4th round of this. Now, this is about a week old, so it may be the ADP could be off. And you got Zay Flowers. Those are all guys that I'm willing to take. Next round, yeah, I would take him probably over some of the like T. Higgins, Tank Dell, Maury Cooper is close. Both of them are older guys, so I can understand why you might want to go with Mike. I'm just rather take DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, IU, Devontae Smith, Pat Mahomes, Neighbors, and Zay Flowers over Mike Evans because I'm going with a trajectory for this year, not what he's done in the past. He's a Hall of Famer. A lot of these guys are not. Let's see. Garvin says I can't decide on Evans. He's a Hall of Fame. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. That's 2 different things. User says Mike Evans is good because he can get you some TDs, but you could get a guy like Malik Neighbors or even bro. You even knew it before I even went through that. User, you right, bro. Zach says, could you rank wide receivers? Neighbors, Flowers, Diggs, DK, Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice, Tank Dell, DJ Moore, and Pittman. They all get drafted around the same draft. So, bro, it's gonna be hard because there's so many guys. But let me kind of write it down and rank them. So the first guy I'm gonna talk about. I'm going with Neighbors. I'm gonna answer this question, and I'm gonna get out of here, guys. So I'm going with Neighbors. Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, and Rashee Rice and Tank Dell. All right, guys. So listen, I got to get out of here. I got to go my appointment for my hair appointment. I appreciate everybody being here. I apologize that I didn't get to get to all everybody else comment. But I will be doing a live once I get back home, right? So y'all be safe, guys. I see y'all later. Peace.